And welcome back to Ozarks Live. Tom is joining us today from Smouse Bros.
So Tom, what do people need to know about the services offered through Smouse Bros?
Well, what you really need to know, or at least think about, is for most people, their home is their biggest investment they're going to make. And Smouse Brothers is here to kind of help you take care of it in some pretty important ways. This is Jess Smouse, one of the owners. Good to see you, Jess. Thanks for having us by. Okay, just give folks kind of the broad brush stroke about what Smouse Brothers is.
So we do anything kind of dealing with waterproofing in basements, crawl spaces. We do structural repair, foundation repair, kind of secure the bones of the house so the house doesn't fall down.
All the stuff that holds the house upright and, yeah, okay, all right.
Yep.
What are some of the things that this time of year, people really need to start paying attention to?
So obviously we're kind of in the rainy season. We get a whole bunch of rain really quickly. So shedding water away, moving water away from the house. The last thing anybody wants is a wet basement, a flooded crawl space.
Right.
So trying to be a little proactive on just moving water away.
That's okay. You said right there, proactive, because I think many people don't realize the power of water, but it's one of the most powerful things we know, actually.
Yeah, and I tell people all the time, water created the Grand Canyon. Yeah. So if you have cracks in your foundations, water can find that, and it's going to make it worse and worse. And once water finds a path, it's just going to keep going that way.
Okay, you said it'll make it worse and worse. That's one thing I think people also overlook. You get a little pinhole or a little crack, you have no idea what's behind that.
Mm-hmm. And it's just, we get calls all the time of it's never leaked this bad or this is the first time. And like I said, once it kind of finds that path, unless you make it go somewhere else, it just wants to come that way every time it rains.
Yeah, and the water that follows days later will also look at that path if it's been excavated by the water before it.
It's essentially creating kind of an underground trench or pathway. And, as the ground continues to saturate, that water has to go somewhere.
Yeah, and it does have a lot of power, of course. What are some of the things that people should look for as far as, basement is, in one sense, is easy. You have the wall that you can look at. Crawl spaces aren't always the easiest thing to, take a look at.
So what a lot of times, if we get those big rains, just even opening up the crawl space door and peeking in there, you can. I've been in crawl spaces that have 2 or 3 feet of water, or just look at kind of the ground and you can see that muddy, wet dampness.
Right.
Just even the yard slope, if everything's draining towards your house, your crawl space or your basement is a giant hole in the ground. Mm-hmm. And so that's where water wants to go.
It sounds like also this is a good idea to maybe, be proactive with things like that. Don't wait before you have the big crack that water is leaking through rather than even just seeping through. Get ahead of things like this.
Yeah, and a lot of times, there's smaller repairs that you can do to stop these issues. But yeah, as it progresses and gets worse and worse, the repair becomes bigger and bigger. So yeah, being proactive can definitely save you money, in the long run.
How long has Smouse Brothers been at this kind of work?
So we've been in business this will be our 5th year.
5th year.
Yep.
But you have family, even farther back, doing this kind of work.
Yeah, and I actually got into this line of work when I was about 18, so I've been doing it for 17-ish years.
Okay.
So
what sort of area do you cover as far as, how far you'll travel to help people out?
So we cover all of Southwest Missouri. We get calls, northern Arkansas. We've been out to Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. I was in West Plains the other day. So we're kind of all over. If you need our assistance, we'll kind of go wherever you are.
Yeah, people can go to your website, find all the information they need to.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, water damage is one thing. Any other things that you'd wanted to talk about?
So this time of year, too, you see with all the spring rains, you start getting termite swarms, you start seeing ants.
Yes.
They're all attracted to water, and termites are $5 to $10 billion a year in damage.
Okay, you heard that kind of number, and we're going to come back in just a little bit. We're going to talk about damage and how you can help and why you need a professional to really understand where that's gone. So we'll come back here in just a bit, but for right now, back to you.
Thank you so much, Tom. Those are things you don't want to joke around about.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
You need a professional for all that.
Yes.
All right.